sixth graders, it's Mrs. Zimmerman. I have a great lesson today because I'm combining everything that you've been learning for the past few days. So you have watched a lot of videos on how to convert fractions and decimals and percents and change them back again. So this video today is going to be combining all three. So what I've done is I put a chart up here, and our job is going to be to fill in the blanks. Okay? So we're just going to start right at the top and work our way through. I'm starting with the decimal. Okay? Now, let's do a decimal. Let's turn it into a fraction first. Okay? And if I'm turning a decimal into a fraction, if I can say it, I can write it. So let's say this out loud. It's 1 and 2/10. 1 and 2/10. So in my box over here, I could write 1 and 2/10. Can you see that? Yeah, a little bit. 1 and 2/10. 1 and 2/10. Is that in simplest form? No, right? We can divide 2 and 10 by 2. So I'm going to have 1, and then 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So I have 1 and 1/5. All right, now let's change that same decimal into a percent. Decimal to percent, don't pester rattlesnakes. So I know I'm going to go to the right 2 places because 100 has 2 zeros. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and I have an empty space here, so I have to add a 0. So my percent is 120%. There you go. Those all equal each other. They're all the same amount. If I were to draw a picture or fill in a model, they would all be the exact same. Okay? Next one. I have 0 and 4/10%. Let's just go ahead and change it right to a decimal first. Okay? So I'm going from a percent to a decimal. Percent, decimal, please don't lie. Remember my phrases? Please don't lie. So we're going to go to the left 2. Let me just draw my 1, 2. I've got another empty spot again. So let's put a 0 in that empty spot. There we go. Okay, my last one here is a fraction. So I need to turn this decimal into a fraction. And if I can say it, I can write it. So let's say it out loud. It's 1, 2, 3 places. So I know I'm going to be in the thousandths place. So here we go. 0 and 4 thousandths. So the part we really want to pay attention to is the 4 thousandths. So I'm going to put 4 over 1,000. 4 thousandths. Now, is that in simplest form? No, they're both even, right? We can do 2. I also know that 4 is going to go into 1,000. So let's divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. And then 1,000 divided by 4, I don't know it off the top of my head. So I'm just going to come over here to 1,000 divided by 4. Okay? 4 goes into 10 2 times. That's going to be 8. I'm going to get 2, drop my 0. Now I have 20. 4 goes into 20 5 times. So I'm going to subtract to get 0. I still have another 0 to drop. And 4 goes into 0 times. Now I have no more zeros. So my answer, 250. So my new denominator is 250. Okay? 4/10% is the same thing as 1 over 250. See, we're just cruising right along. We're almost done. We've just got these last 2 on the bottom, okay? Now, I'm going to erase this. And here we go, 3/5. Okay? We need to turn that into a decimal and into a percent. The easiest thing that I can think of is to get this into a percent first, right? Because percent means out of 100. So if we can just get our denominator to 100, then we're good, right? So if I have 3/5, and I need to get that to 100, How do I go from 5 to 100? Multiply by 20. So I'm going to times by 20. And if I do it to the denominator, I'm also doing it to the numerator. What's 3 times 20? 60. So it's 60 over 100. And we know that 60 over 100 is the same thing as 60%. That one's done. Okay? One more. Let's change this percent to a decimal. Okay? I've got my 60 here. Where's the decimal? Even if I can't see it, there's always a decimal behind the 0. There we go. There's always a decimal there, even if you can't see it. So we're going from a percent to a decimal. So please don't lie. We're going to go left 2 places. So I'm going to do 1, 2, which my decimal is going to end on the other side of the 6. So now I have 0.6, but we don't leave it like that. We're going to put a 0 there. So now I have 0 and 6/10. Look at that. Our chart is full. Okay, that was a full review on how to convert fractions, decimals, and percents. If this is still a little bit confusing to you, go back and rewatch some of my old videos, okay? The ones you watched earlier this week and last week. That way, you can kind of pinpoint which ones you need the most amount of help with. And that's all I have for you. I got nothing else. So have a good rest of your day.